Hey, good morning, good Yontif. So we're going to play a little game. I'm going to say a holiday, and you're going to come up with the definition of it in one sentence. 2 sentences. Super easy. Passover. You can do Passover in 1 sentence, right? We were slaves and now we're not. It's not a really great game, I didn't say that. All right, Shavuot. Shavuot in 1 sentence. Just yell it out. We got the Torah, we got the 10 Commandments, they all count. Rosh Hashanah. It's the new year, the head of the year. Yom Kippur. What is Yom Kippur? The Day of Atonement. Okay, so you're all very good at this game. Shmini Atzeret. Shmini, 8th. 8th of what? The 8th day of Sukkot. Sukkot's a 7-day holiday. If it's the 8th day of Sukkot, then Sukkot is an 8-day holiday, and you don't need it. We don't have Shmini Pesach. Right? Feels like it, but we don't. Atzeret. Atzeret is an ending. Ending of what? I hope this helped. If you're looking to me for the answer, you're in the wrong place. It's a very strange thing. It's the 8th day of no one knows what and a stopping of no one knows what, yet here we are. But I think in here there's actually something very profound that occurred to me for the first time. And I'm going to bring up an idea that might be helpful in understanding the holiday and why it really is an incredibly meaningful day. There is a psychotherapist that I was listening to her podcast. Her name is Shannon Knight. And she was talking about transitional objects and transitional places and transitional times. A transitional object would be like your security blanket or your teddy bear, something you look to for comfort. A transitional place might be like the memories of the home you grew up in, if it was a happy home. And if it was an unhappy home, then you look for other kinds of transitional objects. If you grew up in a home that was not safe, emotionally or physically or both, you might look to certain objects for protection. I'll just give you one off the top of my head. Action figures, not dolls. Though for some people that might be. But if you grew up in a home that was really unsafe, you might look for something for safety. It might be a transitional time might be if there was a holiday that was really happy for you, or a moment in your life, whether it was a birthday or an anniversary or graduation, or just the day that you realized that despite everything, you were going to be okay. These are all transitional objects, transitional places, transitional times. They're the things that help us confront the challenges in our lives in a better way. That gives us a sense of security, a sense of possibility. And I think that's what Shmini Atzeret is. Shmini Atzeret is the last holiday of the year in the Torah. The Torah doesn't know about Purim, it doesn't know about Passover, about Hanukkah. It knows a lot about Passover. It doesn't know about Hanukkah, it doesn't know about the holiday of Purim. Right? If you look in the 5 books of Moses and the Torah that we're going to be completing over Simchat Torah, Shmini Atzeret is the very last. And there are no Shmini Atzeret rituals. In fact, Simchat Torah is added much later. So Shmini Atzeret is actually empty of any intrinsic meaning by itself. Shmini Atzeret is an empty container, but it allows us to fill our own hopes, our own dreams in it. Shmini Atzeret is the Torah giving us our own space, our own time to fill our needs. That what is it that we need? Everything until this point, all the holidays are all communal. All the holidays are about the nation, about the community. Shmini Atzeret, which is the end of the cycle, is where we fill it with our anxiety. We fill it with our joy, with our happiness. And I think that the Yizkor today is also a transitional moment within this, because it allows us to fill this container with our own grief, our own sense of loss. I think Yom Kippur is really a very communal feeling Yizkor. I find the Yizkor of Shmini Atzeret incredibly difficult. I find it personally the hardest of all of them. I think because on Yom Kippur there are so many people and I have so much anxiety over how things are going to go that I don't really have a lot of space to think about what I have to deal with. And you might be feeling that too. There's a lot of family stuff. There's a lot of stuff going on. Shmini Atzeret is a moment just for your own grief. Now, this year is obviously different because October 7th, in many ways, finally ended after 730 days. But it also didn't end. There is still that grief. I think we felt elation yesterday, and I think a lot of us are feeling really tired today. It's that what Rabbi Nosenwich talked about, the transitions between the simcha of the holiday and the grief also of the holiday. And tonight at Simchat Torah, we're going to be taking these pictures down, and we're going to be dancing with them, and hopefully there will be no more pictures that we need to put up. But it's a lot, and this Yizkor gives us, I think, the container to fill with our grief. And within the name of Shmini Atzeret, which is in many ways very paradoxical, again, it's the 8th of what, the ending of what, I think there's a very profound idea in here that helps us with the container that we fill, but also the container that we are. The word Shmini is 8th, and in a lot of traditions, including our own, 8 is the number of infinity. It is the week of creation plus a day. Shmini is about touching what is infinite in the world. Atzeret, an ending, is a reminder of our mortality, that we are finite. And so human beings are a paradox. Our bodies are finite. Our abilities are finite. Our length of time in this world, it's finite. But our essence, our souls, are infinite. And within that paradox is the pain of existence. We know that there is going to be an Atzeret. But we also know that we are part of Shmini, that we are part of the infinite. And it's what makes being human so challenging and so beautiful at the same time, that because we are finite, we are infinitely valuable and precious, but it's also what makes loss so painful as well. And there's a poem by Mary Oliver that I'm going to share. I love Mary Oliver. Just a beautiful poet and very emotionally connected. And she wrote a poem called The Summer Day, which I think is a perfect Yizkor poem. Who made the world? Who made the swan and the black bear? Who made the grasshopper? This grasshopper, I mean. The one who has flung herself out of the grass, the one who is eating sugar out of my hand, who is moving her jaws back and forth instead of up and down, who is gazing around with her enormous and complicated eyes. Now she lifts her pale forearms and thoroughly washes her face. Now she snaps her wings open and floats away. I don't know exactly what a prayer is. I do know how to pay attention, how to fall down into the grass, how to kneel down in the grass, how to be idle and blessed, how to stroll through the fields, which is what I've been doing all day. Tell me, what else should I have done? Doesn't everything die at last and too soon? Tell me, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life? Our one wild and precious life. We are finite and we are infinite. We are the bridge between heaven and earth. And I think that's ultimately what holiness means, that we are the ones who connect the everyday to the spirit of the divine. We bless the infinite by blessing the finite. When we say the bracha over bread, when we say hamotzi, we become the bridge between the infinite blessing of the divine and the finite blessings of the earth for whom we are the stewards. When we offer gratitude, when we offer kindness to creation, we become that bridge again between the finite and the infinite. If our lives are only finite, what's the point? And we can't grasp the infinite. But we can live between those two spaces. We can live in that transitional time between heaven and earth. When we say the Kedusha, we always elevate ourselves 3 times because we are imitating the angels, holy, holy, holy God of hosts, that they say to each other, Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh. But we're also rooted in the ground. And on Shmini Atzeret, we remind ourselves that though there is loss, though there is finitude, though there are endings, we are always, always elevating ourselves. We are always that connection to the divine, and that is infinite, and that is our wild and precious life. Chag Sameach.